Blackrock making the biggest changes to the firm in more than a decade. It's acquiring global infrastructure partners in a cash and stock deal valued at about $12.5 billion. In a memo, Larry Fink saying that the infrastructure deal and infrastructure itself is one of the fastest growing areas of our industry over the next 10 years.
Back in 2021, Joe Biden passed a massive trillion-dollar infrastructure spending bill. Now, Blackrock, which is one of the largest and most powerful asset management companies in the world, has recently made a large acquisition and partnership in the infrastructure space. So here's how you take advantage of that. I'm going to talk about a few different stock tickers that you can look into to take advantage of all this infrastructure emphasis in the economy. So the first one, the first ticker is DE, Deere and Company. They're involved in like construction, agriculture, forestry, and turf care, things of that nature. They make all types of equipment in those related spaces, and they've been around for a long time. And you know, this is a company that's definitely going to be incorporated into some of the infrastructure spending. Next ticker, CAT. This one should be pretty obvious. Caterpillar. If you're out on the road in public somewhere and you ride past a random construction site, 9 times out of 10, a lot of the heavy industrial machinery and equipment that you see being used at the construction site is made by Caterpillar. They're all over the country, actually all over the world, and you really almost can't even contemplate infrastructure spending without including them in the conversation. But this next ticker is a little less talked about, you know, in the popular stock forums and stuff like that. But this one is NUE, Nucor. They're involved with steel and steel-related materials, things like carbon and alloy steel sheets, fabricated concrete reinforcing steel, grinders, wire mesh, you name it. They're typically in the conversation for producing and manufacturing those type of materials. The last ticker that I'll cover is CCI, Crown Castle. This is actually a REIT, real estate investment trust, and they're involved in like wireless infrastructure, fiber, small cell networks, and things of that nature. They're profitable as well, and the interesting thing about them, they also offer a fairly high dividend. I think it's like 5.7%. So this is something that you could hold for the potential price appreciation from infrastructure spending, and also the dividend, holding it long term. One thing I'll note about all these tickers, and really the stock market, a lot of the stock market in general, is right now a lot of the prices are already sky high. So if you're interested in these infrastructure investments, don't just jump in right away. Make sure you understand the basics of technical analysis and what the key levels are, the key price levels. Probably wait for a pullback on most of these names that I'm mentioning, because right now it's more likely that we get a pullback from the current prices than just more continuation. Wait for prices to pull back at least close to a key level. Understand the fundamentals of technical analysis. You don't have to be an expert, a guru. You can really just use moving averages on the higher time frames if you don't have time to really do a deep dive on understanding technical analysis. The easiest way to do it is just go to higher time frames like the weekly or the monthly, and use the moving averages on those higher time frames, and you'll get in for better prices. Sometimes the price won't even come down that far, but you want to at least be closer to those levels instead of the levels that we're at right now, because like I said, a lot of the big names in the stock market are at all-time highs or just recently coming off of all-time highs. So take your time, look through these tickers, look through their fundamentals, their balance sheets and stuff like that. They're big names in the infrastructure space, and they're definitely going to be involved in some of this infrastructure spending going forward.